Fakes, from where we sat, that your team didn't look too badly off. We just thought the Suns were red hot on the night. What was your take on as it unfolded?
I thought in the first half we didn't take our chances inside 50. We had some good ones and we just couldn't complete those opportunities. And we made some mistakes with our ball use that led to them scoring. And I also thought our team defence, which was an absolute strength of ours last week and has been pretty good for a few weeks, was off in that first half as well. The one thing that was going well was contested ball and clearance, but we got beaten up in that area in the second half. And we've been so good for the last 6 weeks in that department, but in the second half tonight we were beaten up by a team that was super hungry to get the job done. Obviously, the number of times that we've been able to achieve a win against Gold Coast had built up, and you could tell by their reaction at the end how much it meant to them. So credit to them for that. We've been tougher than most sides we've played against in the last 6 weeks, but tonight they were tougher than us. They wanted it more. It would be my summary of the game.
The obvious match-up from the sidelines, the Lockie Neal, Tuke Miller. Does the rest of your midfield, should they be looking to help Lockie more, or is it just up to them to lift their game more, or Lockie to lift more? What do you think happens?
Josh Dunkley had a pretty decent night. Yeah. So that's one of those things that you really need to look at the tape and reflect on before I answer, because I wasn't just sitting there watching Lockie and Tuke. So I'll probably sit on the fence with that one, mate. Can't answer it until I've had a good look.
Obviously your midfield looked a little bit different tonight. I mean, Ashcroft, there's a big emotion behind that, losing him to ACL, and then Bailey's still out too. Did you feel like it looked a little bit different in past weeks? What did you make of that?
Oh yeah, well, it was different because there's different players in there. They bring, Bailey's quick and fast on his feet, and Will's just a smart player. But I wouldn't put that down as the reason why we lost the game tonight. We didn't have Bailey last week and we were able to cover for him. It's just the other team were so damn good. You've got to give them a pat on the back and say well done, because they were tremendous in there, and we got. It's been rare for us. I mean, last week we were fantastic at contested ball and clearance, and tonight, second half, we got a lesson in it.
There's a bit of fatigue creep in, folks. We're at the tail end of the season. It's a long season, as coaches always do like to tell us, and we've seen a few upsets this round as well.
Yeah, it's hard to say, isn't it? Because we have been up and about for 6 weeks and we've played really well in that block. Whether that's just a natural thing to happen from time to time, I don't know. It's hard to say, but all I do know is that Gold Coast won tonight because they were tougher and harder for longer than what we were in the game. So we'll have a chat about that during the week. The key thing is at this time of the year, and as you've seen today, the competition is so tight and anything can happen. You don't want to overreact to a loss. You just got to look at it honestly and see it for what it is, and then pick yourself up and go again next week. That's the competition. We've got to go to Perth next week against a Fremantle side that'll be full of confidence because they beat Geelong at Geelong, which is pretty unheard of. So it's just a lesson, and we know it. And we were aware, for Gold Coast tonight, they had a lot to play for. They wanted to keep their season alive. We've had the wood on them, so there's a lot of natural motivation their way, and they played that way. So credit to them.
We don't know what's going to happen tonight, obviously, but it puts a little dint into your top 2 aspirations. Is that make it hurt a little more?
Yeah, I probably have never talked about top 2. I think everybody else talks about top 2. I haven't. We're just trying to finish as high on the ladder as we can, and to get the double chance is the priority. I understand the idea that if you finish top 2, you get home finals, but we're not hanging our hat on having to have home finals to be good enough in September. You know, you got to win anywhere in any time in September, and you just do your best to qualify as high as you can, and that's been our priority. I've never ever talked to our players about finishing top 2, believe it or not.
Going off that little bit, obviously in the commentary box and media world, there's constant talk about finals. Are you a little bit, I guess, sick of hearing about it? Like, do you, as a coach, address that a lot with your team, finals?
Not at this time of the year. We're just trying to win the next game. You address finals when you arrive at finals. So that's pretty much how we roll. We certainly try to play in a way that will help us win finals. We weren't able to do that for long enough tonight, but that's all we ever talk about.
What lessons do you take from tonight?
Oh, well, like any team, if you don't win the contest, you can look a bit average. And we'll look at, excuse me, our ball use in the first half. I mean, we had a lot of entries tonight still and all of that, but we didn't play anywhere near as well as we can. So there's lots of things you look at, but won't overanalyse it either. I don't believe in reacting ridiculously to wins nor to losses.
I want to just touch on as well, obviously Jared Berry got slammed to the ground pretty hard there in the last term. Is he feeling okay? Do you have any kind of update on
Jared?
that?
No, Jared's fine. Yep.
And Kitty Coleman.
Yeah, he's got a bit of a knock to the eye and he needs to go to the hospital, so I'm not sure what the outcome of that will be. That was a ball, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you.
No worries. Sorry about my coughing.
No, no.
Okay.